Good morning, everybody. So, before we get started, I wanted to say thank you again to Jacqueline because I didn't thank Jacqueline during a morning coffee, which is usually when I do that. I did it in an unboxing video, I believe. So just in case you didn't hear me say thank you, Miss Jacqueline, thank you so much for the love you sent my way. And also a thank you to Salita for sending me some love. I appreciate y'all. I have coffee coming and on the way. It's being delivered. From time to time, I'll do a ship delivery, Instacart. It just depends on when they send those really big coupons, like 40% off or something like that, or and you can use it in conjunction with another one. I'm not like a couponer, but I do know how to kind of work the coupons, to my benefit. So sometimes those places, if you haven't like ordered in a long time, to prompt you to order, they will send you one of those big coupons, and your grocery total will be less than if you had showed up at the grocery store. And so I had one of those coupons, and I used it to get a lot of coffee today. So, and y'all almost didn't get a video because I woke up today. I know I'm smiling and everything. I'm happy that my migraine is gone. I had the worst migraine this morning. Like, my pain level was at a 10. It was just blinding blackout pain. And I used to work with this girl in the plant, man. Her name was Kyra. And every time you looked up, this child had a migraine. I gotta go to medical. I got a migraine. And it's like, God, with this again? I'm like, can't you just take a pill or something? And it's a migraine. And I'm like, okay, when I tell you I owe her the biggest apology, because a lot of things happen to you as a woman when you start going into perimenopause/menopause. And that's one of the things you can develop. Like, for the first time in my life ever, I am starting to experience migraine pain. And baby, when I tell you, if I had that woman's number, I would pick the phone up and apologize immediately, because a migraine is not a headache. It's not a regular schmegular headache. I've never experienced them in my life until recently. And when I tell you, light sensitivity, blinding pain, can barely stand up, want to vomit, it's horrible. It's horrible. It is horrible. Enough about that. Enough of that. If you don't know, you will one day. At least 50% of the population will. So listen, I'm not one that follows pop culture. Pop culture really isn't my thing. I'll see a story every now and again, and I'll take note. But I'm Generation X, and a lot of the things that you see in pop culture are with the younger generations, and so I don't really too much pay anything like that any real attention. Of course, I'm following the whole P. Diddy thing. That's my generation. I remember when he came on the scene, and not only that, but it has to do with very important matters, that case. But with that said, have you all been following this OMG lawsuit? I hadn't followed the whole lawsuit, but I've been seeing snippets, bits and pieces of it. And I guess T.I. and Tiny, they won their lawsuit. $71 million. That is a lot of money. Not after taxes and not after you divide it up with several people, but it's enough to change lives. I tell you that. It changed my life, that's for sure. But I'm so happy to see that they won this lawsuit. And the reason why this lawsuit is important is because stop stealing from black people. Stop stealing from black people. It's not okay. People claim that they don't know the difference between appreciation and appropriation, but they 100% do. Let me tell you when it's always appropriation. Whenever you profit off of black culture, black ingenuity, black talent, it's always appropriation in that sense. It's never going to be appreciation. It will always be cultural appropriation. One of the reasons why the black community doesn't have generational wealth is because we have been stolen from so much since transatlantic slavery. To this day, I won't have a Jack and Coke because of it. Remember when the little white girl went on, what was it, the Tonight Show, and she did the little dance? I forget what her name is, De Matteo or DiMaggio or something like that. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, I just really don't know her name. And she did the viral TikTok dance that black people came up with. And when they gaslight you and say, you can't invent a dance, yes you can. Yes you can. You absolutely can. Black people invented the dance, and she made a lot of money because of it. And she went on that show and she represented herself as though she was the creator of this viral dance, and she wasn't. Black people go on TikTok, they do something, a white person looks at it, sees it, decides I'm gonna do it, and because they have bigger platforms, bigger followings, they take it, they do it, they market it as their own thing, and they make lots of money. That is appropriation all day long. It's not just a TikTok dance. It's theft. I am a very, 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 very good cook. Anyone who has ever pretty much met me and known me can tell you that. And people say you can't steal a recipe. You can't steal a recipe. They do that on social media too. Yes, you can. You 100% can. There are black cooks, black chefs. They make their meals, and then white creators come and take it. There was this one black creator, and she did one with a string bean casserole. I have never in my life wanted to eat string bean casserole until she made that dish. It looked fire. And then this white guy comes along and he creates it, and then it goes viral. And he never credited this black creator. Had he created the black creator, the person who created this recipe, because it was her grandmother's recipe, it would have sent more followers to her, more views to her, and if she were in the creator program, she would have made a lot more money on something that belonged to her originally, never to him. And when she brought it up, he blocked her. They always do that. They block you because they don't want to take accountability for the fact that they weren't creative enough to come up with something that's spectacular, and so they stole it from someone else, and then they put it out there and marketed themselves as though they were the creator of that. And that's what makes it theft. When the creator says, hey, that's my shit, and then you go on a blocking spree. Lots of black people have been seriously harmed from that and denied wealth because white people steal our creativity, our ingenuity. You know, when I was in high school back in the day, I knew black girls and black boys, baby, that were creating designs in their basement, sewing high-end designer clothes out of their basements. Okay? better than anything that you would see on a runway during New York Fashion Week. Which is one of the reasons why I cannot understand why black people clamor to brands like Dior and Gucci and, and I'll tell you a secret. A lot of those fashion houses hire black people, barely pay them anything, and put their designs on the runway under the name Gucci or Dior or Marc Jacobs or whatever. Did you know that? I would love to see more celebrities do what Beyonce did. Do for black designers what Beyonce did for the Telfar bag. Because when you have that kind of fame and that kind of notoriety, a certain amount of power comes with that. Why not put black people on? Why not look back, reach back, and pull black people with you? However you can. However you can. Black people don't know how to gatekeep shit. We don't know how to gatekeep nothing. We always inviting everybody to the cookout for doing the bare minimum. The bare minimum. White people see something funny or clever that another black person did. They take it, they copy it, they put it on their platform. Black people, you invited to the cookout, boo. You invited to the cookout. Well, he invited to my cookout. And we try to tell you all. Part of the reason why they are able to gatekeep off our culture like they do is because you keep inviting them in. We're not profiting off of our culture, but they are. And they feel so entitled to do it. Look at the small designers on TikTok, clothing designers. And then the images, they don't even like try to hide it or mask it. Next thing you know, you see their images on Shein or whatever. And then when you get the item, because it's a copied item, they don't really know how it was created. You get garbage. And the black designer doesn't get paid for their creativity, their work. And white people feel so entitled to just take, partly because they've been doing it for so long, it's almost cultural. And because largely in part, they do not recognize our humanity. And when they do not recognize our humanity, they feel like it's okay for them to take for their benefit. It's okay for them to steal from us for their benefit. It's okay for them to appropriate our culture for their benefit. Because that's what we have always been here for, to make money for them, to make them rich. Whether with our labor, whether with our creativity, ingenuity. They've always done it. So of course, when a white person saw this girl group and thought, let me just make some dolls like this because I think kids would like this. And they didn't even change the damn name. OMG girls, OMG dolls. Never asked them, never consulted with them, never even thought to even give them a chunk of the pie. They just saw blackness and thought, that's what you're here for. To make me money, to make me rich. And not enough of us are connecting those dots. We better learn how to gatekeep quick. That's why this lawsuit was so important, because it sends a very strong message. Stop stealing from black people and thinking that there will be no repercussions for that. Stop taking from black people and thinking that that's okay. It's not okay. Stop using black people to enrich yourself. While we barely getting by. Stop. There's a little black girl, I forget her name, and she, Dolls, made this line of black dolls. And she has been doing this for years and years and years. And she was using Wells Fargo, we're going to give her grace, to put her money in. And obviously, it's a substantial amount of money. It was enough for Wells Fargo to steal. We saw what Wells Fargo did to Wendy Williams. I don't know why black people still banking with Wells Fargo, still putting their assets into Wells Fargo. We do know how Wells Fargo became Wells Fargo, don't we? If not, Google it. I'll spare you, but Google it. Wells Fargo been making money off of black people since their inception. Black people ain't got no business banking with Wells Fargo. It's a few of those banks that got started because they were buying slaves and from slave labor. It's a few of them. This lawsuit was very important. Stop stealing from black people. It's not okay. You know, and I'm just gonna say this. One of the reasons why so many white people follow us on social media is because they are so fascinated with black culture, and they know the value of black culture. They do. I wish black culture understood how valuable black culture is. That's why they're always looking over the fence at us, minding our business, following us on social media, thinking that they can control our narratives, our conversations, the way the world sees us. They mind our business more than they mind their own business. They really do. This was a very important message to send out to white America. Because stop stealing from black people. Stop using black people in order to make yourselves rich, while black people, black America, stays poor. Learn how to gatekeep your culture. Y'all have a good day.